I was told that if you look at something so far away, uh, if you had a telescope, okay, that was strong enough to reach the moon, okay, what you were seeing happening actually happened like 8 seconds ago, something like that, okay? So it takes 8 seconds from the time you see something on the moon to the time you actually see it, okay? Now consider this, because that's the speed of light. Let's say there was a way to travel faster than the speed of light. So if you saw somebody on the moon trying to kill another individual, by the time you saw that happening, it happened 8 seconds ago. So there's nothing you could do to stop it. But if you could travel faster than the speed of light and get there, say, instead of 18 seconds faster than the speed of light, would you get there 8 to 10 seconds before it actually happened, and could you prevent it? Maybe that's what's happening. Perhaps that's what's happening. And again, don't discount what we're going to be able to do in the future, because back in the NASA days, when they landed the first man on the moon, and I was old enough to watch it, 1969, I was 10 years old. But as I was watching it, I thought, that is truly incredible. Look at where we've come. And if somebody were to say, well, yeah, but before you retire, son, you're going to be able to have more computing power than the Cray computer that ran the NASA mission. You'll have more computer power like that in your hand. You'll be able to send whole videos to your friends. You'll be able to buy stuff online. You'll be able to talk to anybody anywhere in the world real time, and it really won't cost anything. And this will all be held in your hand. Nobody would have believed it. And 1969 was what, 50 years ago? 52 years ago, maybe? Not that long ago. Look where we've come in 52 years. Where will we be in 200 years, 300 years, 500 years? Where will we be? Now, to end, I'll just leave you with this. For those of you that are thinking, and I'm going to go ahead and talk to those of you who are much smarter than me, the academics, the well-educated, the people with PhDs, multiple PhDs, who look at me and they laugh and they say, you know what? This guy's strange. He's weird. He's a dummy. He doesn't know what he's talking about, because I know the science. We've heard that term through this whole pandemic countless times. The science, the science, the science. Consider that not long ago, people thought the smartest men in the world, the absolute geniuses, the top 0.1% of the smart people in the world believed the sun rotated around the earth. The earth was flat. There were no such things as bacteria. There was no need to wash your hands before you operated on somebody. To make somebody better, if they were sick, you cut them open and took blood out and let the bad blood out. I mean, this is what the smartest men in the world did way back then. Now, today we look at all that and we laugh. What ridiculous morons they were. These were the smartest men in the world 50, 100, 200, 500 years ago. These were the smartest men in the world. And they told us how things were. And they looked down their nose on the common man thinking, you know what? These people don't know what's going on. They're silly. They're stupid. They're not nearly as smart as us. But the dirty little secret is, they too were clueless. Stephen Hawking, who, when he was alive, was arguably the smartest man in the world. And he talks about the black holes. How do we know there's a black hole? Well, I've heard the mathematical formulas say, no. What do you mean? I guarantee that before I die, many of Stephen Hawking's theories will be brushed aside because they're not true. The new science, the science of the day, the science of the hour, the science will prove it wrong. Now, what I'm getting at is I'm not saying that Stephen Hawking or PhDs are stupid people. Not at all. What I'm saying is it's a theory. This is what they believe based on evidence. And there's a difference between a theory and a fact. A fact is the earth rotates around the sun, and we've been able to prove that. 500 years ago, they didn't think that. They thought the earth was flat. Okay? Things change based on new evidence. And that's all I'm saying. The government report, and maybe we'll get more information. Hopefully we'll get some more information. Hopefully, this annex that's not being released will be released. However, maybe it's not being released for a real reason. And here's how you'll know that there's scary evidence in this annex report. If you get somebody like Marco Rubio or some of the other senators or congressmen who demand that the government release all the information to them, including the annex, and they say, "Psst, come here. Let me show you some of it." And they're given a sneak preview. Maybe they're shown the whole thing. And then all of a sudden, that senator, that congressman, that government official says, "You know what? Never mind." That's when you know that we don't need to know, because there's something else out there that's very, very scary. Well, that's it. I'm done. JamesStrongShow@hotmail.com. That's the email address. Send me your email. Tell me what you're thinking about the podcast. Give me some ideas for the podcast. I like to get them. I don't always use them, but I always consider them. So thank you for your suggestions. JamesStrongShow@hotmail.com. You can also just send me your email address. Ask me for a copy of the podcast. That way, upon publication of the podcast, you'll get a link. You can click on it, download it, and listen to it at your leisure. You can also get the James Strong Show podcast on any place you get your podcasts. That's it. We're done. Until next time, this is James Strong saying adios.